right. Thank you. Having a great ride. Hey, sounds American Band on the Teddy Smith Show of America, a James Petrecka production, along with Mr. Mark Farner. Welcome back to the show, Mark.
Hey, good to be with you, Teddy. The music's sounding just like I remembered it.
Just back in the 60s and 70s, right, as we played here on the New York Radio WPAT. You grew up participating in dancing competitions, I know. What's your favorite dance? Do you have one for us?
I just kind of do impromptu stuff, you know, stuff that makes me want to move, and I take a combination of even part of the twist and put it in there, but I'm definitely my own style.
Are you still farming it up from your home in Michigan these days?
Yeah, I just worked up the garden, and we've had snow here already, but the dirt's looking good, and we'll plant some vegetables next summer and have a good garden.
And how do you choose the set order for each concert? I think people would love to know that.
Well, the order just comes from feel, how I feel about what songs I want to, you know, exaggerate or put up front, or maybe I'll swap something out and hold it for quite a while, and then people think, well, maybe they're not going to hear that song, and then, ooh, surprise, there it is. So it's just impromptu and by, how I feel. So.
Well, we have a surprise. Rob Rindeman's here, our producer. He wants to ask you a question or a comment or something, Rob? Rob?
Yeah, hey, Mark. This music is awesome. Quick question. We understand that you guys sold out Shea Stadium even faster than the Beatles. Is that factual?
Yes, that is factual, and brother, I happen to wear the proud badge to have written all the music that we sang that night, and we played for the New York City audience, our brothers and sisters there, and even just thinking about it when we flew over the stadium, and Humble Pie was on stage there at second base, and I was watching the bleachers flex, and I could see the beat to the song. I didn't even have to hear it. I could see it. It was an awesome concert that I'll never forget.
And, of course, how do you approach capturing that energy, Mark, the rawness from the live show into an album and vice versa?
Well, when I'm singing, in the studio and I'm doing a take, I have my eyes closed and I'm imagining the character that I'm portraying with these words, and I try to emulate that character. And on stage, I take it a step further and put it to action. And because of the influence Terry Knight had on me early on, he's saying the people at the back of the auditorium are not going to see a slight little move. You got to exaggerate your move. And so I learned how to exaggerate and communicate, but I'm exactly who my songs say I am. And today I go with the joy of playing for my fans and having great conversation and meeting more great people.
And people would want to hear the song. People are calling in right now for Heartbreaker. Is there a story or a particular situation or circumstance that you'd like to share some knowledge or background about that particular song?
Well, actually, Dick Wagner, God rest his soul, he was guitar player for Alice Cooper and Ursa Major, and he was, prior to those bands, he was in a band called the Bossmen in Michigan, and they were a show band, and most bands would just stand there and sing and play their instrument, and they just stand at the position of the microphone. But these guys were all over the place, and I thought, man, that's great. I kind of learned from them. And then as Dick had written so many songs, we were up in his apartment one night playing electric guitars without amplifiers, and it's very soft, and that's because he had kids in bed and his wife was in bed. She was getting up to go to work the next morning, and I just said, Dick, I really admire how you have written so many great songs. I mean, how do you do that? You're really a composer. He says, Mark, you can do too. You can write songs. It's in you. You just got to let it come out. And that night, he went to bed. I stayed up, and I wrote Heartbreaker, my first song, when I was 18 years old.
Wow, that's amazing. Just before we play the song, I know you wanted to share with us the cutting room on, you're playing the American Band Unplugged, Mark Farner's American Band Unplugged, Tuesday, October 30th at 7:30 p.m. right here in New York City at the cutting room. You want to share anything about the particular concert or details?
Well, no, just come on, and we're going to have fun. I guarantee you we're going to have fun, and you'll be able to hear some of the stories that come out. It just depends on whoever prompts this memory or that memory, but we really have a good time, and the people are very appreciative of how candid it can be and turns out to be, and how personal it gets, and they're even bigger fans when they leave this acoustic show.
Just one more quick question for you as we wrap this up. Who's your favorite rock singer or rock group? Do you have one or two or three particular ones that come to mind?
Well, as far as male singers, my favorite was an R&B singer named Howard Tate. He had an album that I picked up called Get It While You Can, and it was on Verve, which was a subsidiary of Atlantic back then. And that was the voice that really spoke to me. It's kind of like Jimi Hendrix's guitar. You know, he could make that guitar cry. He could make it sing. He could make it speak to you. And that was the influence, same type of influence that Howard Tate had on me, because I thought, man, if I had that kind of range, if I only could hit those kind of notes, you know, and it gave me something to strive for. And part of my style from loving that kind of music and being brought up in it.
Well, listen, I want to thank you, Mark, for being part of this radio program, a Jim Petreka production this evening here on WPAT Radio.
It's been my pleasure, Teddy, and thank Jim for me, please, and the WPAT radio listeners. God bless you all. I'm looking forward to seeing you October 30th at the Cutting Room in New York City. Come on over. Let's have a good time.
Let's do it. All right, Mark, have a wonderful evening and a great week.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Great show. Great. Another song?
Yeah, all right. Yep. Congratulations. That was a good one. A lot of energy there, right?
Excellent interview.
Once I had a little girl. Sometimes I think about her, but you know, not really there. When memories you call, I just
Tommy,
can't
go downstairs and get the
without
jacket.
her.
They're downstairs. They won't let them off.
All the time, so hard to
Trust me, downstairs. They won't let them off. They won't. Tommy, go down and get the call. You know how to get my phone back to where it was? Someone was doing an update on itself. You know how to get it back? Like the... Yeah, they got it down there.
I don't cry no
Keep it on there.
I live while I'm flying.
Yeah,
I'll
just
take
kind of
back.
red, just straight. No, just here.
And you can hear me Now it comes on one
sometimes you use your thumbprint or you can use the brand new thumb.
Yeah. He wrote this? He wrote this, right? Yeah, he wrote it, yeah. On the other computer, that's where they come in. Well, stop. You gotta cue it. What's the name of the band again?
Corner Can't Stop.
Yeah.
You read that?
One more.
keep on crushing my pride. I can't stop thinking of you. I can't stop loving you too.
Hi. Hi, how are you?
I don't know. Let's go this way. Two different places.
Hi, I'm Teddy.
Hey, how you doing, Teddy?
Nice to meet you.
How are you?
Nice
All right.
to know you. Mr. Rob Brenderman.
Rob Brenderman.
How you doing?
Pleasure.
All right.
Good night.